Awards actually to me isn't really something that I would emphasize on, because every project I'll feel like it wasn't there yet, I could have done something better, I would want to improve.
I don't really care, to be completely honest, about awards. I think it's nice to be recognized for the work that you do, but ultimately if you know that you are producing good work and that good work is being enjoyed by your client, that's award enough.
Does it really matter? I'm not too sure, because this is I think it's just the beginning step for YWA, so it's more of getting the client's recognition is more important for right now where we are.
So I think, as you would know, that the TP consultants have been in the industry for 50 over years. One of the pioneering structural engineering firms in Singapore, and I think a lot of the senior people in the built industry would have known our firm. Hearing all the stories from my dad, I understand the hardship that he had to go through from when he was younger. His career, is a long and illustrious one. They've done a lot of projects, such as infrastructure projects, airport projects, a lot of the residential projects, private or government projects. So it's quite extensive, especially given the fact that it's spread over the 50 over years. I think over the years, he has accumulated so many awards that, I'm not bragging, but we don't really have enough space to display them all. It's something that I look at it, and for me, how am I going to measure up to that? Of course, it has pressure on me to try and achieve more. I always ask myself, am I doing things right? Will he be proud of me? But after a while, I come to a realization that, life is not, of course you will accumulate achievements, awards along the way, but you shouldn't be focusing on these things. You should be focusing on doing what you have on hand and giving your best, doing the best that you can, being honest about it and being sincere about it. People will see the good work that you're doing.
Upper Circular is a conservation shophouse project. It's more like a Nene works, where the existing is around 3 stories and we are going to make it to 6 stories, which will make it more viably, commercial for the clients.
First story will be used primarily for F&B, and then second story onwards it will be for office use. The first time we're coming in here since you see, it's hollow.
Yeah. So all these thing remains the same, only this we will be changing.
So 7.5 meter from the front, we will not be able to knock down. So this particular one that we are working on is a secondary settlement. Therefore, there are different rules that apply to it. So we actually have the opportunity to kind of retain the first 7.5 meters, and beyond which, towards the rear, we're able to demolish. And then the requirement is actually to maximize the potential of this plot. We have to see how to retain it, because we have to check the structure side whether this for the staircase, whether it's load bearing or not. We want to be able to have a nice access and have a nice lift lobby for the office function, and while trying to find a balance and maintain the frontage of the F&B segment of it. So By doing so, we actually need to apply a lot of design principles and use of materials to make the space look comfortable, and we want to elevate the value upwards to the office block as well.
Conservation, the challenge would be that we don't get to change much, but still we have to preserve the beauty that's existing.
When you look at the building from the streetscape, it has to look as though it is one. And this is where we really need to think about the design, be very sensitive and careful about it. We also try to utilize the buildings around. So we actually took the lift all the way up and the opposite building because we were standing there and thinking, how do we have a look at the roof? So we looked across, there was a building across and there was a parking, multi-story car park. So we took a very tiny lift and then went all the way up to the top floor of the car park, and we managed to catch a glimpse of the roof. It's so hot. Okay, so one of the questions that we were asking ourselves is whether we can do a flat roof, because when they say you have to retain the 7.5 meter from front to back, right? Does it mean that it's too cannot see? Does it mean that we have to keep the pitch roof all the way until 7.5 meters? So if we look at take the neighboring unit as an example, it would be a good example lah. So they are able to have the roof access.
You can actually see the difference in wall size. This wall size, the other one, and the center wall is a smaller one. It's only 9. They bought together and then they created a partition.
When they bought together, it's a long time ago.
Also, the plan that we have is like long ago.
Yeah. For architecture, I've always enjoyed, I will always be that person that stopped in my footsteps and really just stare in awe at the old shop houses in the foreground, and in the background you have multi-story mixed developments, offices, shopping malls. They all look so forward in their design, but you can be standing in a street where it's all shop houses. Firstly, we're going to do preservation works at the front, but at the back, how do we continue to respect that? How do we be innovative in our design, bringing that history into the new structure? We want that to be one of the more prominent buildings along that street, at the same time really respecting the history of the building. The Lighthouse at Punggol was a very interesting project for us because it is actually a community project. So it's not a private house, it's not a commercial project. It is actually a place where it's envisioned that the youth of the area will come and have activities there. So what's unique about this project is that we actually use upcycled shipping containers. And as architects, we always want to be advocates for green architecture, and especially with all the global warming and environmental issues that are going on today. In this aspect, it was a new medium that we could work with and something that I always wanted to kind of work with, which is the shipping containers.
So actually how we enhance the container itself is that we make use of the existing container, even though it's dent and scratches on it, but like what I say, it's actually a beauty of the recycled materials. So what we did is that we introduced like a youngsters colors trend, which is orange and neon green.
This plot is also flanked by 2 service roads, and then one side it is actually a multi-story car park, and then the other side is the residential HDB blocks. So with that, we wanted to be sensitive to the site context. One of the main goals was to have a stage where people could do performance or have speech and they have an audience in front of them. So we made full use of the topography where one side is actually on an elevated ground and the other one is lower. But we had to be sensitive with the noise as well. So we actually orientated it away from the residential blocks. Yeah, so this is the stage. You can do a performance here. Imagine an audience down there. Ricola! we had 6 containers to play with, 2 of which we actually had a V shape to create a space in between, and what we'll do is actually roof over it to have a more usable space. This pit stop space is actually for them to have their operations over there, but it also doubles up because it's next to the stage. It actually doubles up as a back of house when there are events. The other pair of containers was actually placed in a very unique way. One reason being because it's our interpretation of what a lighthouse would be. So this pair of containers is actually designed such that it is a space for people to dance. So the other 2 containers are actually situated further to the back, and they're placed a bit further apart, and then of course we have roof structure over it. So this is actually a larger, more squarish conventional space where it's multi-purpose. People can go there and hold classes, can have gatherings there. The next thing that we wanted to do was to make sure that there is good circulation. So there's actually a sheltered linkway at the side, and what we did was to introduce a continuous linkway linking from the existing linkway to provide a sheltered walk throughout the space. Once we have achieved that, we actually wanted to also have a roof over the big open space where was currently planned for the stage. The design of the roof is more like an origami approach, where we wanted to have the folds and peaks as though it's like a mountain. So because of all the different folds, we had to do a lot of different paper models to kind of look at the pitch of the roof to achieve what we actually want to achieve. Because the last thing we want is such a big roof and then all the rainwater start flowing inwards into the event space is going to be flooded. So that's the last thing we actually want. One thing we tried to do was to keep the place very dynamic, very vibrant, very lively. The whole idea is that we must remember that this is something that we are designing for the youth, so it has to attract them. I do think that overall the place is very Instagrammable. Because of all the different angles that we're putting in there, it's actually quite cool. I'm not sure if the young people still use the word cool, but it's cool. So 5A, right? We're literally 2 weeks away to hand over. Now, there are some pushbacks on some testing, etc., and documents being forwarded to us so that we can do submissions. Unfortunately, I had to make a call to the client to let them know that, hey, realistically speaking, the TOPCSC would very likely be towards the end of the year, towards the end of December. One of the things that they wanted to have was to be able to move some of their things in prior to the TOPCSC. So what we did tell them was that you cannot move in, but moving your things in and just putting it at a particular location that we have set aside for them, that is possible.
So timeline-wise, we are still very tight. I would say it's very tight because within 1 month we have to get all the site ready, and we take submissions, photos, prepare documents, which will take time also.
Painting, next week we're doing again. It's the boom blade.
Which one?
This painting again one more
Oh,
time.
okay.
One more time.
Next week.
Then this
Next Friday can complete or not? Okay.
maybe 10 days because we're using boom blade. So little bit small.
Because by right I have to submit to BCA first.
No problem.
If not, they'll take time to
No,
review.
that time, if come to when we take photo,
But
we put the boom lift somewhere, we take photo.
okay. But all these have to clear, right?
Yeah, we
Everything.
Yeah.
Okay. You let me know next week
later on,
when.
Based on our expectations is that there will delay like 1-2 weeks. Yeah. When we went down to site and we went to the pool area, first thing that we realized is the wall is damn high. So what we have to do is that we have to bring down the wall and rebuild a lightweight screening which comply to the URA requirements. So, and it's now come to the last stage, which is the TOPCSC stage, and suddenly then this thing came out, so no choice, we have to rectify it and
and quickly get the URI approval for our final TOP CSC clearance. And for sure, this will take quite a while.
This one I have to remove also.
Hey, 你 remove 到这里还是什么？
I think have to remove all the way down 到这个 level. Then we do
到这个 level
then we do 1 meter high
fencing
fencing
那个
because 1 meter to comply the barrier issue lah. No choice lah. That's the only way lah. So bring this down. A bit sayang ah. By right this is not 1.8 also This one 1.8. So from here onwards everything must be 1.8, go all the way down.
The other thing is that the staircase going down to the basement, you can overlook into neighbor unit because the existing wall is too low. It's about 1 meter high, and by right, all the neighbor walls should be 1.8 instead of like low wall.
Here up, there up.
Here need to up,
and go down.
then go down. So what we have to do is that the contractor have to build up on top of the existing wall and make sure that it's not visible to the neighbor unit, and because this is due to privacy issue.
The rest of the carpentry works are going fast and steady, I would say. We were just there 3 days ago. I would say that it is 85% complete. So I would say that we are looking quite positive. Although the TOP CSC date is pushed back another 2 weeks, but I think it all kind of works out for them, thank goodness, that they can move their things in. So fingers still crossed. We are literally walking along that thin line right now. And yeah, it's gonna be a stressful end of the year. So Kembangan House, the client approached us with a simple brief. So they actually like the place simple, to house their family, their habits, their hobbies, their interests, how they would like to, reside in the house. This is what? Lorong Kembangan, right?
Yeah, Lorong Kembangan. So
How's the window?
owner is going for this kind of windows. But actually, I was thinking that this would be better instead of aesthetic facade design.
I think ultimately the client's preference. This one look a bit like smiley face. Nice.
Correct.
But
The thing is, they need more sunlight to come in. That's why we cater for this kind of windows.
Okay.
A fixed panel at the bottom.
Okay.
And we are not allowed to utilize this as a balcony. That's why.
Right.
And they say this one is actually minimize their opening.
Which window are we? Which brand are we proposing?
So window wise, in terms of the water tightness and all that, I think we are going for a sapphire window, UPVC window.
Because the other thing they highlighted was they were concerned about the sound and the heat. So I remember that their windows also can deal with this. Maybe today. I think afterwards I can probably go down have a look, see their showroom and see how it can handle these elements.
Okay.
But what's the status now?
Okay, so currently owner is going to move up by end November, and the contractor will start to do the asbestos survey.
Oh yeah, this one got to do a asbestos survey.
Because it's built before 1992, that's why we need to conduct a asbestos survey for this.
But now, they should be almost done moving out already.
Almost, they are doing the packing right now. So target to move up by end November. Hopefully the contractor can take over from December onwards. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Then I probably head down later lah. I think you're quite busy today.
Yeah, I think I can make it today.
Okay, then I go down and maybe
Alright.
meet them there. Okay.
Alright.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, so
How are you?
Hey, hi, good.
Yeah,
good.
man. Hey, thanks for taking time to show us around. Okay, so the reason I'm here is because the project at Lorong Kembangan, they are looking for windows, and we're actually trying to specify your windows because I think one of the concerns that they have was sound and heat. So I was just thinking to come down to have a look and see, how the windows are, and what kind of strengths that it has over, other windows in, in the market.
Sure. I can show you around.
Okay.
We have an experience center over there.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I think we can start over there.
Okay. Let's have a look.
Water tightness, primary importance of a window. So we set up a watertight. Why we are blasting the water is actually at the seals. So not just at the glass. I mean, obviously glass is impenetrable. So at the seals, showing that even if the water is coming in at a 45-degree angle at a high pressure, it's not going to be leaking into the house. Over here, the other thing that's also excellent with our window systems is the air tightness. I mean, people are concerned about the haze.
Okay.
People are concerned about the haze. If haze season comes, it's going to keep smell out if you close your windows and doors. So another great feature. So we saw windows and how airtight and watertight it can be. But how about this?
It was on all the way?
Yeah, it was on all the way.
No way. Hey, close again.
So when we close, we normally have a one-point latch. You can still hear a little bit.
Yeah.
But when I engage the locking mechanism,
that's unbelievable.
So if you really are concerned about heat, then you have to go to double glaze. And there's there's already two ways about it. So if you look at just let me see, the basic double glaze would be here on the right side.
Okay.
Versus the Lamy Low E. So we've got a 57 degrees on the inside there.
Okay.
We've got 6 degrees on inside here.
Even higher.
The temperature is 10 degrees difference.
Wow. Okay.
So down here, if you put your hand over on this side, just on the basic, you can feel there's a big difference there compared to that. How thick the airspace is also plays a part. So in the front here, instead of a 12 mm airspace, we have a 20 mm airspace.
Okay.
Now you put it in front, it's like cold. That's a bit hot.
Okay. You know what? I was actually going to challenge you to open the thing.
For this, we have a corner opening Optima Plus system. The whole idea is to create that super minimalist look in terms of the verticals. I'll close the window in just a second. So the handle is a patented system. It's a hidden handle. It's not physical. If you look over here, go over to the end, there's nothing there, right? Now put your hand over here. Put your hand over here, grab it, press.
Wait a minute. What is this?
You see, this is where it's fully integrated with the profile.
Okay.
And then it's kept in an open position, so now I can go out, I close it, it won't lock. But if I press this catch here, so I press it like that, it resets to its zero position where it would catch into a frame. These rollers actually can take up to, even if you're doing 500 kilogram, 1 ton kind of glass, it's good. And the good thing about it is that it's super flat and seamless inside to outside. No bumps up and down, no little drops, 1 centimeter drops, nothing like that. And since we're doing such big panels for your GCB, after they move in, they've got great marble on the floor, furniture all around. If in the long run, 10 years down the road, anything is like, dust, hair goes in, it's not as smooth as before, you'll be surprised at how easy it is to replace. I could basically take out the roller, give you a new piece. I don't even need to come down actually, I just send it to the owner. And he can just pop it back in. And I'll bring you to the next system, which is the Fusion. And this one is even concealed, like the whole track is concealed underneath the floor. So if we design it right, and we have a quick look here, these rollers are actually underneath, so they're underneath this floor. So how do we actually access them? So if you do even like tiles, we design this area to be removable, the first layer. Right? So we can find ways of clipping, having non-cement kind of finishing on the grouting so that it can be removable. Our stock coming in from Europe will be hoisted and racked over here, whatever is needed, drawn and placed into our first machine, which is automatic cutting machine. They do, after that, milling, drilling. So over here, we have our welding machine where we are now making our individual vertical, what we see all there saw into a square, into a window frame.
The welding is here.
So after that, you see now it's going to clamp down. Now the heating plate will now come out, and now it's going to stay there for about 30 seconds. 24 seconds for the melting process to happen. So now we're actually melting 3 millimeters off each side of the profile.
Okay.
And then after that 24 seconds, the plates are going to lift up.
Okay.
It's going to put the two profiles together, it's going to cool.
Okay.
And then after that, cool together and fuse together. So after the welding is complete, actually you will see all this spruce that comes up. This is natural from what happens during a melting process.
Okay.
So we need to clean it. We can't deliver the windows like that.
Right.
So that's what's happening over here. And then once that is done, instead of having a human to have to rotate it,
mechanically rotate it.
Yeah, this little helper comes up and.
Oh, look at that.
And hopefully now that you understand a bit more, you know exactly like you say, you can recommend it with passion on certain different products that you've seen across in the whole house. Be like why this is better, why that is better, why you think it's better because of what you've seen. And we really always invite all our customers to come down to actually have a look at what they are purchasing.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes there's a certain value that they're paying for it, and we want to show them where that value really and truly is.
I think your experience showroom is really great. I think at the end of the day, as much as I can try to explain, to bring them down to really have a look at it and experience what I went through just now, that is really going to be different for them also. All right, man. Okay. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much. Okay.
Pleasure.
I was definitely not expecting such a big crowd over there. I thought it was maybe a more private event. When we turned up, there were a lot of people there, and of course, I was happy to bring my mom, my wife, and kid along to have a look at the place that we have put in so much effort to bring to reality. It's amazing because the people are there using the space, sheltered, and really seeing how each cluster of container is actually functioning. So you see that they have already set up tables, they have displays, and people are circulating through the space. And I think that the space planning was actually done pretty well, self-praise, but it wasn't where there was a bottleneck. There was no bottleneck of people. Everyone was moving around very comfortably. We see families, kids, and grandparents going through the space and really enjoying it.
The moment that we see like so many people that attending the events and they are utilize the space that we design, I feel that we whatever we draw, whatever we design, it just come to reality. And it's very happy that you see all the kids running around on the open space and all the adults bringing their kids, joining the community. Yeah, this is satisfied.
I would also like to thank Mr. B.G. Lim of Andreco for being the contractor, as well as Yue Wei from YWA Studio, who is an award-winning studio which has designed the Lighthouse for us. But our main sponsor, SG Pools, thank you so very much.
So I would say that this is our first project that will be experienced by the public, the community. It resonates with me because I think my dad, has been in the line for a very long time, since 50 over years back, my late father. So he, of course, a lot of the work that he has done, such as infrastructure, etc., also, part of the nation building.
Well, actually, I'm very proud of ourselves because we feel like we are actually contribute to the Punggol community.
In some ways, it's like following in my dad's footsteps, but I definitely look forward to more challenges ahead if there are any. Come our way. We're here. We're happy to contribute.